there, it's another tarot sesh for Sagittarius. I'm the Cannastrologer. My name is Abby, and this is your September monthly tarot reading, moon message. I typically have these out more towards the full moon, but this is meant for whenever you're seeing this. The energy resonates throughout the entire month of September. All right, Sagittarius, let's get into this. The song that I had on pre-shuffle for you, it's called Judgment Day by Five Finger Death Punch, and great song, great group, love the people. Some of the lyrics are, damned if I do, damned if I don't, damned if I will, and damned if I won't. Doomed if I try, doomed if I fail, damn you all to hell. I'm no angel, I'm no savior, and I've never been a saint. Well, I know I'm not the devil because I can still feel the pain. I walked through fire and through brimstone, and there were no pearly gates. I'll be sure to ask about it on my final judgment day. So this song talks about somebody who's just like been through it, right? The gauntlet, basically. It's like, dragged across the finish line. And it's funny, like I've got Sagittarius placements too. For many of my returning subscribers, you guys already know that. So I resonate really hard with the Sagittarius readings a lot of the time. But I also have a lot of Sagittarian friends. And I've been talking to a few of them, and it's like all the same story. Like different timelines, different, reasons behind it. Everybody has different placements in their chart, but Sagittarians have been taking a toll, especially through this eclipse season. Eclipse season started on the full moon. It was the full moon in Pisces. It was called the corn moon, and then it immediately went into the full lunar eclipse, which is then called the blood moon. And eclipse season lasts from the lunar eclipse all the way through the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse isn't until the 21st. Lunar eclipses are all about endings, and the solar eclipses are about the beginnings. So that time in between is like turmoil. And it's like Mercury retrograde times 3. Real abrupt endings, real like finite endings, right? So take it as it resonates. Let's get the Witch's Secrets of the Witch Oracle. What do we have for Sagittarius? Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good. What do we have for Sagittarius, please? Okay, I'll just take the top one since that's the one I saw. We've got the Witch's Wand. The witch is waving her magical willow wand over you this day. Use its power to soothe your mind, focus your will, and mend your heartache. Feel the change within you this day. So this is all about change, which I know many of you are like breathing a sigh of relief, like, oh, thank God. When is this going to end, right? Okay, so now let's get Black Moon Astrology. 1 second. Okay. My cats keep on jumping up onto the counters, and I'm trying to make sure that they don't. What do we have for Black Moon Astrology for Sagittarius, please? All right. Underneath the deck, Mars, Force. That's what we've been feeling, the Force, right? Mars is very fiery energy, and it's, fire, Sagittarius, but it's not the kind that we like. It's like pressure, So top of the deck, you also might want to check and see what's like where your Mars placement is. Mars is how we deal with anger, how we deal with frustration, how we deal with animosity. Then we've got number 28, Roots. It's the 4th house. Also check your 4th house. What placements do you have there? So with the 4th house is about roots. It's about where you plant your roots. What are you growing? What are you manifesting? What are you working on? Family roots, things like that as well. There could be turmoil there and happening with that right now. Where's my book? Here we go. We're going to read about it. Somebody could be 28 years old. Something could be taking place on the 28th of the month. So also prepare for that. And that would be after the solar eclipse, after the 21st. So it even looks like a happier card. So I just got to say. So the 4th house, Roots. I love you As certain dark things are to be loved in secret between the shadow and the soul. Pablo Neruda, Sonnet XVII 100 Love Sonnets. So your question may somehow be rooted in the past. The fourth house is ruled by the moon and governs the feelings, all the ways that we are touchy and emotional, dreams, and our soul yearnings. It signifies the home, family, and the earliest phase of childhood, even to the time shortly before birth when we're still in the womb. So the fourth house shows the beginning of the family and holds the memories of our ancestors. In the fourth house, the self is centered and grounded, but also likes to hide away. There's both gentleness and emotional rawness in the fourth house. So when this card shows up in a reading, home and family issues may have something to do with your query. And as it represents your current environment, family members, and where you live, real estate and land might also figure in as putting down roots or buying or selling a home. So this card can be the predicator of a birth or new members of the family, a pregnancy, and can sometimes mean for the elderly, including nursing homes and hospital stays. This also indicates the presence of angels and being directed by heavenly means. And when we get to the end of our reading, I always go over the predictions that I do at the end of every year, and we predict the upcoming full moons of every month. Guardian is one of the predictions. So make sure you stick with me throughout the reading and check out the predictions at the end, because that aligns. So corresponding tarot card to this is the Four of Cups, which is interesting. The Four of Cups is water sign energy, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You could have those placements, but it's all about being bored and also kind of being over it. It's like being really like tired of waiting for something to change, you know. But really, the thing about the Four of Cups is you have everything that you really need and want in front of you, as my voice starts to go. But what you're not seeing is that fourth cup that's literally being handed to you, right? But you're so emotional and so kind of like, ugh, whatever, that you're not seeing it. So there's a warning with that card, and it's to be aware of all the little things. Be grateful for the little things. You know, sometimes it's that fourth cup that could be right under your nose. You just have to be aware of it, right? Key ideas: home, domestic issues, the mother, the father, ancestry, the tribe, old age, and the end of a matter. Again, we're in the middle of eclipse season, and we're dealing with all kinds of endings right now. So that could definitely be playing a part for you, Sagittarius. Okie dokie. Let's get into the tarot. You might see my cats. My black cat has not even wanted to come downstairs at all. And then it started thundering and lightning. And so now he's down here with me because he's like, no, not doing that alone. He's a scaredy cat. I'm talking about him. He's looking at me like, what? All right, what do we have for Sagittarius? What do we have for Sagittarius? Underneath the deck, it's the energy going into this, we've got the Two of Wands. Wands are Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. Wands are all about passion. And it can be passion towards a person. It can be passion towards what you're passionate about. Work, career, business, finance, passion projects. If it's towards a person, it can be romantic or platonic. Now, this card talks about looking back to your past lessons, past experiences, and then using that knowledge as a way to move forward courageously, okay? So let's get 3 cards, please, for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, please. Higher peace, power, protection, and prosperity for the greater good. We're starting out with the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Seven of Wands, defending yourself. Oh, then we had 2 cards fall out. With the Wheel of Fortune underneath the deck. Okay. So you're dealing with multiple people here. Could be a couple. It could be just 2 people around you. But it definitely deals with money. Definitely deals with money. Also might deal with judge or judgment. Like law. Because we've got the Four of Pentacles. This talks about holding on to something. That could, could be coins, obviously, money. With the Four of Pentacles, it's my take it to the bank card. So you could be saving, but also you could be, it's like how you give and how you take. Because with this card, there is a warning, and it's, be careful not to hold on to things too tightly, or else they could slip away, right? So you have to know when to give, when to take. And now I'm about to sneeze. Like, as soon as my nose starts tingling, I know that I'm onto something. Okay, so then we've got, like, currently you're fighting something, you're defending something. With the Seven of Wands, this is, like, notice how she's, like, she's got a stick and she's, like, beating off the other sticks or whatever. That sounded wrong. That's not what I meant, but you know what I'm saying, right? So this card can also indicate, like, the 7 chakras. There could be a chakra blocked. But this is all about defending yourself. Morals, ethics, beliefs, goals, that type of thing. There's something that you're defending yourself for. So then what we have coming into the future, we've got the Queen of Pentacles, and then we have the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords can be like a judge or some type of ruling authority having to do with legalities or the law. This could be a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius energy. And the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who typically, like a mother or someone who is able to handle and balance really well house, home, work, finance, things like that. This could be a couple, or this could be, just 2 people, 2 authoritative figures. The King of Swords uses facts, logic, and wisdom to make their decisions. And then the Queen of Pentacles, she's all about the money, and her family and everything, but as it pertains to money and how she's going to, support them, take care of them, that type of thing. Somebody could have a bunny. You could be seeing butterflies. And then also underneath the deck with that Wheel of Fortune, we've got Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo energy. So again, you could be dealing with any of those signs or have that somewhere strong in your chart. Let's clarify and get some answers here. What is this all about, please, spirits? Because this is still very vague to me. What do we have? Like the King of Swords could be coming in to potentially help the Queen of Pentacles. That might be it. Underneath the deck, my nose is itching, guys. Underneath the deck, we have the Hermit. This is a very spiritual card. Somebody's been going within. This could be you or somebody around you. But all life's answers are within you. It's about wisdom. It's about solitude, inner truth, divine inspiration, and enlightenment. Somebody could be taking time to themselves and, really kind of, finding this inspiration, finding the divine wisdom to get through a situation that maybe they, feel like they're having to fight for or defend in order to get out of. What's the Four of Pentacles energy? Wow. 2 more, please, for Sagittarius. What's the Four of Pentacles? 1 more, please. Okay. Saw those flying, right? First one is the Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So in the past, there was something that you were holding on to very tightly, and it had to do with the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are gifts from the universe. This was something that was given to you, or it's like the potential for massive success. When the Ace of Pentacles comes out, it's talking about the time being right to take action on your ideas. Now, again, this was in the past, right? But it's about prosperity, power, opportunity, manifestation, labor, and new ventures. So you could have been holding on to the idea of some type of a job or a project or some type of a venture that you are working hard on. Then we've got the Queen of Wands. You can always call on your natural confidence. It's about warmth, passion, enthusiasm, determination. The Queen of Wands, she's very beautiful. She can also be known as the other woman. This Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy, so I feel very strongly this could be you. Again, wands are all about passion, and she's a very passionate ruler, passionate queen. Now, if this isn't you, she's also known as the other, another woman, the other woman, right? So for some of you, there maybe was a third person involved, third party involved. And I don't mean that it has to be like in romantic in nature. It can be in business, because wands are also about business as well. So there could be some kind of another person when it applies to like finances. But then we have the Emperor, more Aries energy, but fire sign energy. And this is owning your space with confidence. It's about war, conquest, victory, strife, ambition, divine masculine energy, for sure. He's the king of all kings. Structure and control. I could be talking to like a Queen of Wands energy. It could be a female in her Emperor energy. Somebody who kind of controls everything. Like it could be like a head of household. Somebody who started out with a new project, but they were like holding on super tight. Trying to hold on to something. Yeah, because that's why they're defending what it is that they've been holding on to, or what they're trying to control. I feel like I might be talking to somebody who has a little bit of a control problem, control issues. Take it as it resonates. So what do we have for the Seven of Wands? Don't drag the messenger. It's just what I'm getting. And if it's not you, it could be somebody that you're dealing with. Okay, what do we have here? Clarification. Ew. That's funny. Okay. So I said the Seven of Wands, is all about, defending yourself, morals, ethics, beliefs, goals, values, right? Then we have the Eight of Wands. There's some kind of message coming in, or you could be receiving a message, or you could be sending a message. But it's also an action card, more Wands energy, taking action on your ideas because life is moving ahead. It's about movement, speed, quick decisions, change, boldness, excessive force, generosity. I feel like there's somebody, it's either messages or action that's being taken or that you want to take, but it doesn't feel like it's moving fast enough for you, because there's that Four of Cups energy again, okay? You feel like you're just bored of waiting. This is Cancer energy. The message of this card is don't let your focus close you to new ideas. And that's because somebody's so focused on what it is that they think that they want, because they're trying to, again, control the situation. You want to control it. So, you want to take action on it. So you're not paying attention to anything else that's happening to you or around you, right? But that's especially if you're watching this during the eclipse period. I was just telling a Sagittarius that, because they were asking, like, what do I do to manifest before, the 21st, before the solar eclipse, when new beginnings start? And I was trying to explain to them, there's really nothing you can do. Because when the energy is so volatile with that Mars, that force, okay? When that energy is so volatile, the best actions that you can do is just to rest, relax, ground yourself, meditate, right? You can journal and you can, think about things, but it's like, don't waste your time trying to do like spells or rituals or anything extra, because the moment that you do is the moment that the energy changes again, and it's like you wasted all that time, okay? So yeah, this is just like, it's a period of contemplation. You could be closing yourself off. It's like seclusion, lack of risk, but also being bored and demotivated. And then it's interesting. Then we have the Ten of Swords, and it fell in reverse, which is good. So if it was upright, that would mean that it's the complete end of some kind of situation, like that won't come back. But when it's in reverse, it's a period of recovery, regeneration, rebirth. It's very beneficial and can be profitable, but you have to allow this energy to actually come. You can't control it. Okay? That's why they call it recovery. But somebody wants it to happen like now, okay? So now I really am interested. What is this Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Swords? We have the King of Swords and Queen of Pentacles. Sorry. And we have the King of Swords underneath the deck as we go into this. So I feel like he's a very strong figure in this. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. Let's get 3 cards for the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords, please, for Sagittarius for September 2025, or meant for whenever they're seeing this. Okay, so we start out with the Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands. Ow, my cat, sorry. And the Knight of Wands. Okay. Somebody's going to be taking some kind of an action. So with the Ace of Swords, this talks about speaking your mind to solve your problems. It's about logic, power, getting to the heart of the matter. Somebody could be having some insight, clarity, you know, breakthrough or ideas. And I feel like it's like when this Queen of Pentacles and King of Swords gets together, that's when the ideas start popping. That's when the truth comes out. That's when, you know, clarity comes through, which then allows someone to be able to start on a new path, a new journey with the Page of Wands. Again, wands are about action, you know, passionate movement. And a page means that you're on some type of a new start, new adventure. This can also talk about somebody that's younger than you. Pages are messengers, so you could be getting a message from somebody younger than you. But more so, I feel like, you know, what this idea is like a brand new start. It could be something that you've never done before, which would be that page-like energy. It's very courageous. It brings a lot of excitement. It's, you know, like the page is like a free spirit, somebody who has a love of life. They're very enthusiastic. Then we have the Knight of Wands. Now the Knight of Wands is interesting. He comes right after the page. This is somebody who's ready for action. Now is a good time to do what it is that you've wanted to do. So it's like the Page of Wands is kind of like planning and getting ready for what that journey is. That's where the excitement comes from. And then the Knight of Wands is like, okay, we're doing it. We're doing it. It's about energy, passion, adventure, generosity, courage. Now, if this is and I see 1, 2, 3 also, which means that you're on the right path. If this is a relationship, you know, with a King of Swords and a Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles are Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. It's like this could be an exciting new start to, I feel like it's more work related, to be honest with you guys, but clarification, it's work related. I feel like, you know, this is just planning and getting ready for like what that next phase is. Now, but if it is a relationship, it would be at the very, very, very beginning of a relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. It's just taking those next steps to move forward. But for many of you, I feel like it's going to be having to do with something in finance, business, work, career, that type of thing. Because underneath the deck, clarifying the Wheel of Fortune, I don't know, maybe it could be a relationship because the Lovers is underneath this. We've got the Two of Swords. This is somebody trying to make a decision, a little bit of confused energy, like stalling energy. But that's, I feel like, where it's at right now. I'm looking, you know, in the future, and I see it moving forward. I feel like it's going to happen really slowly, but I do see something exciting taking place in which you will be taking action on. So that's good. What else do we have with the Witch's Kitchen? What do we have with the Witch's Kitchen? All right, let's get into this with the Witch's Kitchen for Sagittarius. What do we have for Sagittarius, please? Underneath the deck, we have time, courage. This has been popping up in a lot of the readings. So it was mostly on top. So this is all about, you know, having the courage, having the willpower to stand tall, stand strong, keep moving forward. And, you know, I keep looking at that witch's wand, the oracle from the very beginning. You know, there may have been something that, you know, it really stung. It could have hurt your heart. It could have, you know, shattered your will or made you, you know, question yourself or whether whatever it is that you're doing, is it worth it, you know? But, you know, with the time card, this is, you know, spirit saying, have the courage to keep on keeping on, basically. Top of the deck, we've got witch hazel, sensitivity. Witch hazel is one of my favorite things to use as a toner on your face, as a natural toner. It's so wonderful. Somebody could be feeling sensitive, but also spiritually sensitive. Like you could be becoming more spiritually sensitive. Let's read it. Okay. So I'm one witch who's invited in. I'll banish spots and soothe your skin. Divining twigs draw up emotion. Heart now healed with magic potion. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. So a sensitive witch is often troubled, emotionally that is. When you wear your heart on your sleeve, you become an open book of shadows, and that can land you in sticky situations. As you focus more on your magical work, you will find that your intuition heightens, as does your sensitivity. Merely avoiding those who make you sore as well as those who would rather see you with a blemished reputation does not serve a sensitive soul such as yourself. Rich in tannins, my powerful antioxidants cast soothing, healing spells on most dermatological issues and banish the dark circles under your eyes, as well as troublesome emotions and negativity when used as an herbal elixir. So instead of becoming thick-skinned, allow me, as nature's astringent, to relieve you of any irritation or pains in the backside as you learn to appreciate and hone your empathetic nature. So that's exactly what this is talking about, guys. Like, there is a situation that I'm seeing here that kind of rubbed you the wrong way, right? It could be somebody taking you to court. It could be, you know, you in some kind, like you having to defend yourself in some kind of circumstance, and you're tired of waiting. You're over the situation. You want to get through it. But I do see recovery, and I do see a new beginning. Okay, but you know, with the witch hazel, go grab some witch hazel. You know, if you use it as a facial scrub, a tonic, a toner, you know, take it as it resonates. Just somehow incorporate it into your life, and you will start to see some form of healing. I need to get more. I ran out. We'll go to the store tomorrow and get some. I like that idea. What else do we have for Sagittarius, please? Divination of the Ancients. For Sagittarius, please. All right. Sag. All right. That wanted to separate itself. We'll just do that. Okay, underneath the deck we have dreams, incubation. You could be having really weird dreams right now. I know I had some really super weird dreams last night. This is your incubation period. You know, they say that when you're sleeping is actually when you're most alive, right? When you're most awake. And that's because I believe it's in the REM stage. That's when you're able to pretty much astral travel if you want, right? It's where your consciousness is being released, right? Or your subconscious. And you should also pay attention to your dreams, because as wild as they may be, there is some kind of meaning behind them, right? Top of the deck, what we're paying attention to is handwriting, authenticity. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So, are you authentic in your word, in your written word, in what you say and what you write down? This has a lot to do with contracts and the things that you've written, the things that you have agreed to, and are you adhering to them? Or this could be some type of a contract or written agreement that you will be adhering to. Take it as it resonates. Let's read the message behind it. Okay. It's time to reveal the real you. You may know yourself, but do you let anyone else know the true you? You may feel desperate to be yourself, but have worn a mask for so long that you're now worried how friends, family, and colleagues will react if you stop acting the way they expect you to act. You may have embodied the role of a people pleaser or entertainer, trying to be all the things to everyone. If you show your true colors, will others treat you differently? Will you lose their respect or even their friendship? Ask yourself these questions and be completely truthful with your answers. Then decide whether you are brave enough to show your authentic face to the world. Other meanings are time to stop hiding your light, stand up for your beliefs, and that is exactly what this is. This is like literally the energy that you're in right now. Stand up for your beliefs, express your true self, be an individual, don't follow the crowd. Time to go it alone. Someone isn't being true to you or to themselves. Okay, so I'll leave that. Take it as it may. And then now let's go through the predictions real quick before we wrap it up. So again, these are the monthly predictions that I did at the end of last year. I predict all of the upcoming full moons of each one of the months, and then we go through these throughout the month. The full moon was on the 7th. It was the the full corn moon in Pisces, also right after the full lunar eclipse, also known as the blood moon. The cards that we pulled for this month, the World card in reverse. So World card upright, it's about cycles, endings and beginnings. But when it's in reverse, it means that there's some kind of cycle that has to be repeated. There's something that wasn't learned, something, that you have to do over again, right? Then we picked up on the hearing messages from spirit card. So you could be becoming more sensitive, right? Getting more messages from spirit, seeing numbers, seeing signs, birds, insects, animals. Whenever you see these things, look it up, Google it, look up the spiritual definition of, if you see numbers 555, 111, 333, it's like Google it, look it up, angel number, whatever. And then pay attention to it. The universe isn't just like throwing these things at you for entertainment. It's a message, for you to decipher. So then the next card was number 27, release. So the 27th of the month could be significant. Somebody could be 27 years old, but there's something that you need to release from your past in order to be able to move forward. It could be release of fears, release of a belief system, release of a person, release of a situation. Take it as it resonates. It could be anything, but you have to release it in order to be able to move forward. Then the next card was number 55, Palo Santo, and it's guardian. Now, I think I was talking about that at the very beginning of this. You have a guardian with you. You probably have many, right? The number 55 could be important. 55, 55 is all about changes, change of direction. Somebody could have been 55 years old when they passed away. And, one of your passed on friends, family, or loved ones. That's for only some of you, not all of you. But also 5 plus 5 equals 10. And 10s are about endings, but they're also beginnings because 1 plus 0 equals 1. So, and also Palo Santo. Use Palo Santo to cleanse your energy. It gets rid of all the bad spirits. It keeps all the good spirits near you. Okay. Then the next card was the last quarter moon in Cancer card, and it's talking about taking a breather. After this, I feel like you guys are going to want to, because you have a lot of fire energy. That Mars force that we saw at the very beginning of this. It just looks like, like you guys are over it. You want to take a break and just kind of get through this period and just start this new journey. I get it. I feel you. But that's, this is going to be your opportunity to take a breather probably around the end of the month. And then the next card we pulled for the Crystal Oracle was the Dalmatian stone, which unfortunately I do not have with me right now, but it looks just like a Dalmatian. It's a little white rock with little, black dots, and it means loyalty. Who have you been loyal to? Who has been loyal to you? And when you find those people, stick with them. That's your tribe, make sure that you remain remain loyal. Is that the right thing to say? Because Spirit's like, stop. That or loyalty could be in question. That could be like what you're, defending yourself about or against, with another person. Take it as it resonates. Then last but not least, at the end of last year, I started playing with Astro Dice. They're based on the three main principles of astrology. And for this month, we rolled Uranus, Leo, in the 12th house. And it means a rebel and a mystic with a cause. So the rebel part of this is you rebelling against your past. That's what, the handwriting authenticity was talking about. Your friends, your family may not, think that this is like you, it could be a completely new side of you. You could just be feeling like, you don't hang out with the same people. You don't eat the same things that you used to. You aren't interested in the same types of things that you used to be. And that's because you're changing, and you're changing into more of your authentic self, your more spiritual self. And that's the mystic part. You could be picking up on astrology, picking up on tarot readings, picking up on esoteric, studies. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be any of those things, right? But it's taking you to a completely different level of who you are becoming versus who you were. And so that's the rebellious part. And the cause is so that it wakes you up, so that you can wake up those around you, so that you can inspire those around you. So that's what I have for you for the September monthly moon reading. Take it as it resonates. I hope this brought you clarity and insight and answers. I don't know why I'm stumbling on my words so much with your reading. It's just this reading. But if this brought you clarity, insight, and answers, make sure that you drop a comment in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. If you're interested in a personal reading, I have all of my contact information in the description below this video, so please reach out. And also make sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mars signs too for additional messages. But if this is where I leave you, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the month, week, whatever it is. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.